everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy. This is Well with Joy. If you're new here, welcome. Today I want to talk to you about something that I came across today, actually in a Facebook group that I'm part of, a Catholic Women's Faith Facebook group. And it was a comment that somebody had been on one of the social media platforms, and she was asking a question about the Catholic faith to a Catholic. And that Catholic, she said that Catholic and a lot of Catholics really just seem mean when I'm asking a question. Now, she had been born Catholic, but she hadn't practiced her faith and didn't know much about it, and now was just beginning to want to know more about her faith. And she asked a question, and a Catholic who had established himself as a Catholic on social media came across as mean. So there's two things I want to address in this. The first is that person who left that comment. I can, for one, I know how she feels. I am a convert. I was a Protestant, became Catholic, went through the RCIA, the classes that you take to discern and ultimately, hopefully, become Catholic, be baptized into the church on Easter Vigil. I went through that. I learned my faith and I went through that. But I remember after I went through that and after I finished RCIA, I just wanted to learn more about the faith. And so I bought books. I bought Surprised by Truth, which is conversion stories of different Protestant religions. They tell their own story about why they became Catholic, what they saw, what ultimately helped them make up their mind. And so I read those books by Patrick Madrid. I read a book by Scott Hahn. I listened to cassette tapes by Scott Hahn. I listened to cassette tapes by Father Larry Richards. There were so many things that I listened. Whatever I had available, I listened to, and I was just soaking up what I could learn. And of course, praying the rosary during that time helped also. I was excited. I was just so excited. I didn't have the internet. All I had was that those things, the books and cassette tapes. And so I remember I went to Mass, and it was after Mass, and there was a woman that I knew because she had been in the RCIA. And not going through it, but she was one of the people that was there to help teach and facilitate. And I went up to her and I was telling her what I was learning, how excited I was. And I learned about this conversion. And she just looked at me straight face and said, "You really need to watch who you listen to or who you read." Then she sort of just dismissed me. And I was like, what? I mean, I was so excited. I just wanted to talk to someone about my faith and ask questions. What did she think about this? And that was what I found. Like throughout the Mass, anybody I saw at Mass, there wasn't very many who were excited or wanted to answer my questions, or even talk to me about the faith. They're just not interested. Luckily, I had my husband, who was Catholic, knew the faith very well, and so he could answer my questions. But sometimes, I would annoy him because I would just get too excited. I wanted to talk to other people, but there wasn't really anybody around. But she really burst my bubble when she did that. She wasn't mean, but she just sort of dismissed me and was basically telling me, calm down, relax, and step back a bit. And so anyway, it didn't burst my bubble forever. I was too excited, kept learning and talking and annoying my family, my husband. So what I want to say is, to that person who asked that question, or to anybody who wants to ask a question about the faith, keep asking. And you are lucky because you have the internet. There's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's Instagram. There's so many places that you can go and find real Catholic people who are willing to help and answer your questions. And there's websites. There's Catholic Answers, that's what it is, Catholic Answers. You ask a question, they answer it. Or you go through the website, look, because your question has probably been asked before, and you look at the answers, and it's just such a good resource. And there's so much online that you can find. Relevant Radio has a website. Ascension Press has a website. EWTN has a website. These are places that you can go and find truths about the Catholic faith. I'll put some of those links down below so that if you're interested, you can look there too. But keep looking and keep trying to find a Catholic that can answer your question, or that is willing to point you in the direction or find out the answer for you. That's what you need to do, because they are out there. The second person I want to talk to is the Catholics out there who are on these platforms or on the web with a blog, with a YouTube channel, with one of the social media accounts. Remember that not everybody knows about this deep, rich faith that we have. And it is a learning process. I've been Catholic for 22 and a half years, and I know I don't even begin to know it all. And I'm still learning. And I remember back then how I felt walking into a church and not knowing, hearing words that I had never heard before. Eucharist, liturgy, all these words that I never heard before. Almost scared to ask. What does that mean? Like I said, luckily I had my husband to ask, but I know how it feels to not know where to go to get your answers. And when someone comes to you as someone who's established themselves as Catholic and asks a question, please take the time to be patient and understanding, and take the time to really show yourself as someone who cares, someone who's Christ-like, and someone who's ready to direct them on their path. We're not here to convince anybody, and we know that. We are here to just plant a seed or point in the right direction, and God will take care of the rest. But we have to be willing to be that person who is opening the door for someone who is searching. That's what I really wanted to talk about today, and that's what the message I wanted to get across. Now, on this channel, on my YouTube channel, or on my blog, or Facebook, or Instagram, anything, I want to come across as someone who, if you can ask a question about the Catholic faith, you can ask me anything. I've been from the beginning. I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to understand, and how hard it is to come to a heart understanding. And so I will answer what I can, and what I can't, I can direct you where to go. But I want this to be a community where you feel comfortable asking a question about the Catholic faith, no matter how insignificant or how stupid you may think it sounds. It's not. And there's nothing insignificant. And it may seem obvious to me, but I know to somebody else it may not seem obvious. And I want to be there to help them understand and help you understand, whoever it is that needs to ask the question. So that's what I wanted to say. The other thing I want to mention for all you Catholic YouTubers or bloggers or whatever out there, yes, we answer questions, but also be aware, which I have had some people come to me and ask a question just because they want to fight or they want to prove the Catholic Church wrong. Now sometimes it's hard to decipher that, but usually very quick you can tell that someone isn't interested in what you have to say. They just want to convince you otherwise. And I would say to that, don't cast your pearls. Know when not to share anything or when not to answer, but just do your best to be polite and kind and just move on to the next person. That's what I would suggest. It will happen. But for the most part, usually when people are asking, it is from the heart and they really want to know. Whether they step towards the faith or not, that's up to them and God. But we're here to share this beautiful, deep, rich faith with those who are searching. And that's what our job is. So I just wanted to encourage you, if you're wanting to answer a question, and encourage you if you want to give an answer to that question. So that's what I have today, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, because that helps YouTube to know to share it or to show it to more people. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell, because that way you'll know when I put up a new video, and you can join me again and share the video if you think it might help somebody else out. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.